Did you know that 93% of communication isn't about the words we say? That's right, only 7% of what we communicate comes from the actual words we use. The rest is all body language, tone, and the way we listen. It's crazy to think how much of what we say is hidden beneath the surface. Yet, most people don't even realize this. Now, here's a shocker. Research shows that nearly 50% of people feel they aren't great at conversation. That's half of us. But the truth is, anyone can improve their conversation skills. The key is to learn a few powerful techniques that turn ordinary chats into meaningful, impactful talks. In this video, we'll dive into 6 proven strategies that will completely transform the way you communicate. From mastering the art of pauses to asking questions that connect, you'll discover how to speak and listen like a pro. Ready to level up your conversations? Let's get started. Chapter 1: The Power of Pauses. Why silence speaks louder than words. When we think of great speakers, we often imagine someone who talks non-stop with confidence. But what if I told you that some of the most impactful speakers actually use silence as one of their biggest tools? The pause can be more powerful than any word. Think about it. How often have you noticed how dramatic a silent moment can feel during a speech or conversation? This strategy is about more than just a gap in the dialogue. It's about creating space for what's important to land. Studies show that effective pauses in speech can significantly increase listener engagement. In fact, research by Princeton University reveals that the human brain processes pauses just like it processes speech, highlighting the importance of timing in communication. When you pause, your words are given time to breathe and your listener time to digest. And let's not forget the psychological impact of silence. It can show confidence. People who are comfortable with silence are often perceived as more assured. Another benefit of the pause is its ability to keep conversations from rushing. Pauses help us think more clearly and articulate our thoughts better, which is a key factor for speaking effectively. As the famous author and motivational speaker Jim Rohn once said, "Take time to pause, because life will never pause for you." This wisdom is spot on. By allowing time for thought, we enable deeper, more meaningful exchanges. And guess what? You don't need to fill every moment with words. In fact, being comfortable with a pause might even make others hang on to your every word when you speak again. You're essentially creating a rhythm, giving your listeners the space they need to absorb and respond. Think of pauses as punctuation in a sentence. Just as punctuation guides the meaning of written text, pauses guide the flow of spoken language. And here's a fun fact: even when people speak quickly, they often pause after each key point, subconsciously using this technique. So, rather than fearing a moment of silence, embrace it. Use the pause to create anticipation, build drama, and let your message sink in. Chapter 2: Mastering Micro-Listening. Hear what's unspoken. Great conversation isn't just about talking, it's about listening, too. But not just regular listening. I'm talking about micro-listening. What does that mean? Micro-listening is the art of tuning into the smallest signals, body language, facial expressions, tone shifts, and even slight pauses in speech. These often overlooked cues tell you much more than words alone ever could. According to a study by the University of California, more than 60% of communication is non-verbal. That's right, gestures, posture, and eye contact often carry more weight than the words you're hearing. So, when you're having a conversation, take a moment to notice how the other person is feeling. Are they leaning forward? Are their arms crossed? These non-verbal signals reveal how they truly feel, even if they aren't saying it out loud. One way to practice micro-listening is to focus on the tone of voice. Research by UCLA's Communication Studies Department found that we can convey more emotions through tone than through the actual words we speak. A simple, "I'm fine," can sound completely different depending on whether the speaker says it in a flat, neutral tone or with excitement. As you tune into these shifts, you'll get a better sense of where the conversation is going, allowing you to respond more thoughtfully. It's not just about hearing words, it's about interpreting them. For example, if someone's tone drops when they speak about a particular topic, they may feel uncertain or uncomfortable. By noticing this, you can adjust your response and show empathy. Remember, conversation isn't a one-way street. When you truly listen on a deeper level, you show the other person that they matter, and this creates a powerful bond. Great speakers know that silence speaks volumes, and so does micro-listening. The next time you're in a conversation, try to listen with your whole body. Watch the other person closely. Observe their gestures and listen to what's not being said. This deeper level of listening will elevate your conversations and make you a more attuned speaker. If you're enjoying these tips, don't forget to subscribe for more strategies on improving your speaking skills. Chapter 3: The Curiosity Advantage. Ask the right questions. Have you ever had a conversation where you just couldn't wait to ask the next question? That's the power of curiosity. Great conversationalists are known for their ability to ask insightful, open-ended questions. Why? Because asking the right questions isn't just about gathering information, it's about creating connection. Curiosity-driven questions spark deeper conversations and allow others to share their stories. They show genuine interest, which is a key ingredient for building rapport. A study by the Harvard Business Review found that people who ask more questions during conversations are generally seen as more likable and intelligent. So, asking questions isn't just good for the conversation, it's great for you too. But it's not just about asking any question, it's about asking the right kind. Instead of simply asking, "How was your day?" try something more thought-provoking, like, "What's something surprising that happened today?" Open-ended questions like these encourage the other person to share more detailed thoughts, allowing you to dig deeper into the conversation. You'll notice how quickly these types of questions can take a conversation from surface level to meaningful. The famous author and psychologist, Dr. Carl Rogers, said, "The curious paradox is that when I accept myself just as I am, then I can change." This quote underscores the importance of curiosity. When you ask others about their thoughts and feelings, you show them acceptance, which opens up the door for growth and connection. Here's something fascinating. Research conducted by the University of Michigan found that asking people how they feel about a topic increases their engagement in the conversation by nearly 50%. The simple act of asking thoughtful questions leads to richer dialogue and stronger connections. So, next time you're in a conversation, try not to rush to respond. Instead, focus on asking meaningful questions that show you're genuinely curious about the other person. This approach not only improves your speaking skills but also helps build trust and rapport, making you a master of connection. If you found these tips helpful, hit the subscribe button for more content on becoming a better speaker. Chapter 4: Energy Sync. How to match the vibe for instant rapport. Ever noticed how you can instantly click with some people, while others feel more distant? It's all about energy, how we match the vibe of the other person. Great speakers have an uncanny ability to sync their energy with their audience, making the conversation feel effortless. This is called energy mirroring. It's the subtle art of adjusting your tone, pace, and body language to match the other person's vibe. Studies show that when we mirror someone's gestures or tone, they're more likely to like us. In fact, a study published in the Journal of Personality and Social Psychology found that people are 30% more likely to trust someone who mirrors their body language. This technique can be used to build instant rapport. If someone is speaking slowly and thoughtfully, you don't want to rush your words. Slow down, match their energy, and create harmony. Mirroring isn't about copying, it's about creating a sense of connection. You're not mimicking every move but adjusting your energy so that the other person feels understood. As Tony Robbins, the famous motivational speaker, puts it, when you can connect with people at their energy level, that's where rapport is built. But don't just focus on their speech. Pay attention to their posture, eye contact, and even their breathing patterns. If someone is relaxed and leaning forward, mirror that relaxed vibe to make them feel comfortable. On the flip side, if the person is tense and closed off, matching their energy can help break the tension. The key here is to create an effortless flow in the conversation, and when you master this, you'll be amazed at how quickly you can build trust. Chapter 5: Storytelling Secrets. Turn simple talks into memorable tales. We've all heard the saying, "It's not what you say, but how you say it." Well, the how often involves telling a good story. Great speakers know how to take any point and turn it into an engaging tale that hooks their audience. Why? Because humans are wired to remember stories. A study by the University of California found that we are 22 times more likely to remember information when it is framed as a story. Storytelling taps into our emotions and makes facts feel alive. Take Steve Jobs, for example. His famous product launches weren't just about the specs of the device. He told stories about innovation, about changing the world. When you add emotion and context to your message, you make it stick. People don't remember dry facts, but they'll remember a compelling story. So how can you become a better storyteller? It starts with knowing your audience. When you speak, ask yourself, what story will resonate with them? Whether it's a funny anecdote, a personal experience, or a dramatic turning point, make sure your story has a clear beginning, middle, and end. Think of it as creating a journey for your listeners to take with you. Here's a tip. Try using the story triangle technique. This involves building tension through a problem, showing the struggle, and then resolving it with a positive outcome. This structure is proven to keep people engaged. And the best part? Storytelling doesn't have to be complicated. You don't need to be a master novelist. Even a simple tale of how you solved a problem or learned something new can captivate your audience and make you unforgettable. Chapter 6: The Conversational Pivot, Turning Awkward Silences into Golden Opportunities. We've all been there, the dreaded awkward silence. You're talking with someone, and then, suddenly, the conversation comes to a screeching halt. It feels uncomfortable, right? But what if I told you that these silences could be your secret weapon? The key is learning how to pivot. Rather than scrambling for words to fill the gap, use the silence as an opportunity to refocus the conversation and deepen your connection. In fact, research by the Journal of Social and Personal Relationships found that embracing silence during a conversation can actually build trust between people. When you don't rush to fill the gap, it signals that you're comfortable with the conversation, which helps the other person feel more at ease. A pause allows both of you to collect your thoughts, and it's a chance for you to observe the other person's body language for clues on how to continue. A great way to handle these silences is by asking a follow-up question that relates to what you've already discussed. For example, if the person just shared a story about a challenge at work, you could pivot by asking, "What's been the biggest lesson you've learned from that experience?" This not only keeps the conversation flowing but also shows that you're genuinely interested in their thoughts. Another way to use a conversational pivot is by sharing a personal anecdote that ties into the theme of the conversation. This brings the focus back to you, creating an opportunity to reveal something relatable and engage the other person in your story. Remember, awkward moments don't have to be uncomfortable if you can pivot them into meaningful dialogue. Mastering the conversational pivot is about being confident and comfortable in the moment. If you embrace the silence and use it as an opportunity to guide the conversation, you'll quickly become known for your ability to turn any awkward situation into a golden opportunity for connection. If you've enjoyed these insights, make sure to subscribe for more practical tips on becoming a great speaker.